Hello and welcome back to the Riot Games Arena. One more series remains for Split 3 Week 1 between a team whose offseason roster move shook up the community and a team who broke the bottom 4 curse. Up first, the longest tenured organization in NA with an upset victory to make it into Split 2 playoffs and digging deep to achieve even higher. Give it up for Dignitas! In the top lane, Photon. In the jungle, Sheiden. At mid lane, Keine. At AD carry, Tomo. And getting into position at support, Isles. And their opponents today, the dark horses of the league, riding their momentum into a top 3 finish in Split 2 and breaking the curse of the bottom 4, proving they can tussle with the best. Make some noise for Shopify Rebellion! In the top lane, Fudge. In the jungle, Contractz. Mid lane, Palafox. At AD carry, Bvoy, and support, Zhao. 2 teams enter, 1 will win. What a beautiful day for League of Legends. It's Dignitas versus Shopify Rebellion starting right now. You got Kangas on the cast, you got Kobe on the cast. Kobe, the final best of 3 of Week 1 of Split 3.
That's right, and this is our last hope for a non-2-0.
Yes.
We need to break up these groups. We need to break up these standings a little bit. Try and get a 2-1 series going for ourselves. And if the walkouts are anything to judge by, the coordination from Shopify was looking much better.
They were on it.
The
They were on their
coordination
marks.
from Dignitas, they were going to their seats, then they were going to bow, then they were looking at their positions.
The classic Isles, you know, unofficial team captain. He was in his spot. Everyone else was shuffling around, yeah.
It is also kind of how they ended last split, where Shopify outperformed everybody's expectations, basically making a run at the end of playoffs to get 3rd place. Really, really good stuff from them because it was actual improvements. Like Fudge was looking way better. The team was looking way more coordinated. A lot less of those weird side lane plays that they had done at the beginning of the split where they overcommitted and then stuck around way too long and would eventually get countered. And so Shopify actually did a lot of work, I think, cleaning up quite a few areas for their gameplay. Let's see if they can continue it here into this split versus Dignitas right off the bat.
And I'm going to call it out. Man on your screen right there, Fudge. I think he was robbed of All-Pro. I would have had him in my top 3. I did have him, and I think he had an incredible split, incredible turnaround after a rougher start to the year. If this is the form of Shopify Rebellion going forward, what we just saw from them in Split 2, they are a scary team in this league and also going into the the playoffs where teams will be fighting for 1 additional spot there at Worlds.
Okay, well, they are banning Renekton as far as the top laners go, so might be opening up something here for Fudge in the first couple of picks. Don't want Photon to be able to counter there. Regardless, though, Azir and Taliyah are up, so you expect those to be traded for
Which one you blew one in?
I am a huge fan of the Taliyah side of it.
Okay.
I really love Taliyah, especially since, Vi is up and available to pair with it. But they're going right in to Ambessa for Fudge. First pick. This is why they banned that Renekton. They were pointing out there. They don't want Photon to be able to answer it immediately. So a lot of confidence there. And the Vi, not only does the Vi pair well with a Taliyah if they were able to get that on the backside, but they could pair it super well with Ambessa too. So Dignitas, they're thinking, well, we want to split that up and we'll at least take that one away. So you assume Palafox will do the Azir side instead.
Interesting to see that Gwen locked in right away. They're given the chance for Contractz to grab the Vi if they want to separate it from the Taliyah, which has been a very popular combo mid-jungle. But instead they just say, nope, we're happy with the Gwen. I'm assuming that's Photon. When we saw his player card earlier, it is his favorite champion. It's his signature champion, as he identified himself. So maybe it's back to comfort for his first game here on the LTA stage.
Yep, getting onto the LTA stage, first game. Signature champion, no problem. Let's see still, though, the answer, because these are not hovers over Azir. This is looking for the Annie burst play here. So they have lots of engage. Annie and Ambessa here on the Shopify side. Looking to get some very aggressive team fights.
Yeah, a lot of explosivity so far in the first 3 champions locked in for Shopify Rebellion. Let's see if Dignitas drafts to try and answer, or if they go for a bigger health bar. Skarner typically, which is currently being hovered, it's more of that, you know, big tanky front line for them, and it is locked in, so presumably Sheiden going to be piloting that one in the jungle.
Yeah, and Skarner does have some synergies with Taliyah as well. You know, you can move them over rocks, you can slam them into Taliyah's wall also. And so he's got a couple of synergies there as well. So, you know, they've got some good areas to apply pressure, namely onto Photon's lane, so that the Gwen can get super fed and try and carry there in his first LTA stage game. But bottom lane, since bottom lane went all the way through, gonna start soaking up some bans here. Nico for Seos, you know, very big playmaker. They don't want any extra playmaking to this Shopify comp that they already have.
They already have a lot of firepower trying to remove some of those other engaged champions. And interesting, just as a general trend early on in the split, I have noticed AD carry support getting, you know, pushed back in the draft. It's a lot of focus on these power solo lanes here and junglers early on in Fearless. Again, Azir will still be available for game 2, but for now, like we highlighted, the Annie snap engage possibility can set up the Ambessa very well. So I expect Shopify Rebellion to try and double down on that with their bot lane, but it will not be the Kai'Sa, it will not be the Nico. Those are both banned by Dignitas.
Yeah, they banned out the Karma here, trying to break up like Karma Ezreal type combinations and poke lanes from Dignitas, trying to remove some of these more popular ones.
Wave Sunny, Wave Reagan. They got some co-streamers here. Sorry, Kobe.
Nice, nice. Bottom lane, though, yeah, instantly go with the hard engage here for Dignitas, for Isles to be that playmaker. What is it going to be from Shopify? They were hovering quite a few things earlier. The Nami was hovered really early on, so that makes you think Lucian Nami, and they're going back to some of the same hovers.
I mean, if they do lock that in, okay, Lucian's locked in. Do they go for the Nami? It's the Braum instead. This does give them at least some more of a front line to absorb the engage, because otherwise they're really all gas, no breaks.
Yeah, and Bvoy actually did have some good Lucian games. They had the one versus FlyQuest. He had a pretty decent performance there, and the Braum really does round out the CC for their team fight here. Helps a lot to have some more answers to some melee carries like Gwen. If you can get inside of the shroud, apply your stuns, get your knock up there, a little bit of peel. So looks like it would be rounded out with the Corki here with a pretty good answer.
Okay, so Dignitas have their bot lane locked in. Now it's going to be Alistar, Skarner as the primary engage tools. Anytime I see a Taliyah, though, I also look at the potential for more global plays. And with Photon on that comfort pick of the Gwen, my eyes will always be peeking topside as well to see what's he able to do in that isolated 1v1 and how can the rest of Dignitas impact him as well.
Yeah, we'll see about that top lane, you know, especially if there's any early jungle intervention up there when you have two top lane carries that do scale well and definitely can make volatile lanes. Definitely will be spicy. Bottom side, I definitely side with, I really like the Braum pick, kind of bringing it all together here. Definitely good into the Alistar, so we'll see if Bvoy and Seos can take control early. Also, you know, the Annie from mid lane, both Annie and Taliyah really like to roam, so if you can make some early jungle passes there, then you can like get your mid laner some open timing windows to go roam and gank for you. Snowball.
Non-subscribers, we'll see you in 30 seconds. Everybody else sticking around. You got Shopify Rebellion versus Dignitas for game number 1. Which mid laner will be able to impact the side lanes better? Which top lane carry will get the gold early on? And which team will take game number 1? Shopify Rebellion had a very deep run in playoffs in split number 2, impressing the lot of us. I always thought they could do it. They had the potential, but they showed us that they were able to do it. Dignitas, meanwhile, were able to make it into playoffs, but really have struggled to make a mark so far this year. With a new top laner, let's see if that's exactly what they need here in game number 1.
And we are gonna have a slight delay. To start it out.
Classic.
Hold that tension.
You know what that means, Kobe? Depending on how long the pause is.
What does it mean?
The camera might actually come to us so we can show off the props that were gifted to us
okay, nice.
by the audience members. Just a little seed. I'm sprinkling in there. We'll see if production takes it or not.
Wow, you're just dangling the bait here.
Yeah,
we'll see if we get any update as to what the pause is for, too. But currently, yeah, it looks like there's nothing suspicious going on.
Yeah.
Braum did start with a sweeper, so Shopify, have these options for like late invades. And anytime I have a Braum on my team, and we do have an early sweeper, then I really do like looking for some sort of level 1. Because even if you only get a summoner spell, it can be really nice at the beginning of a series here to try and snowball a little bit. But there we go, right back into it.
Even if you only get a ward, still feels pretty good. But yeah, it was an audio issue, sorted very quickly. You'll have to wait to see our fun little outfits here. But Sheiden right now getting engaged by Contractz at level 1. Just pushed back, and the ward goes down. Let's see if Sheiden wants to go for the back here or fight for any more vision. Looks like it will be the reset.
Yeah, well before 50 seconds, so he's got plenty of time just to go back to base and heal on up. And it is going to leave behind the ward, which was seen by Dignitas, so they know.
I mean, we have 3 stacked right now. Dignitas do spot it, though. Should be able to get away, unless Zeus wants to go for a flash Winter's Bite. Not going to do it. So just going to be a late ward placed down by Shopify Rebellion.
Yep, trying to use that power we were talking about for their level 1. Very well informed as to the early Skarner route. See if they can do anything to actually take advantage of it. Should be getting some pushing going for themselves. Palafox takes a lot of rocks, though.
Bit of a chunk there from both sides as bot lane 1v1 also. Zeus walking up here. Or rather, level 1 2v2. I love the little headbutt coming in from the Alistar. You're always able to heal up with the Alistar passive, so you just trade that tiny chunk of damage. It will actually add up over time. Not much else you can do as the level 1 cow, but let's see if they're able to maintain any kind of pressure on that bottom side. Right now, junglers are pathing opposite direction. Sheiden starting on the top half of the map. Meanwhile, Contractz starting on the bottom side.
Yeah, looking to go influence that carry matchup on the top side. And as we said, Fudge, towards the end of the split, last split for Shopify, was a huge part of the story for this team. Ever since they had that series versus FlyQuest, where even though Shopify overall lost the series, Fudge performed very well versus Bvoy, and it seemed like it gave him a lot of confidence as the level 2 advantage for Shopify results in a nice trade.
Yep. Not that surprising to see. Braum does provide a lot of pressure at level 1 in that lane, so Isles and Tomo now level 2 can maybe try and answer some of that here, but also to highlight the direction of the junglers, that does show that it seems like Contractz might be playing to Fudge a little bit earlier than Sheiden's going to play to Photon, because the Skarner's going to be on the bottom half of the map here.
Or he could go for that invade, because they do have such deep vision. This ward actually...
Big damage on Isles as well.
He wraps around.
Okay. So the bot lane for Dignitas is behind now. Contractz is in the mid lane onto Keine. Stun set up by Palafox. Keine is in trouble. Has the flash available. Does not use it. First blood to Palafox.
Oh, man. That must have been just out of vision.
Whoa. And now top lane, we have a 1v1 here. Nothing going to come of that, though.
Man, and I mean, Keine placed that ward himself by Raptor, so there is no one to blame for but yourself. I always, when like the support places it or something, they get a little bit ticked, like, hey, you left a tiny little edge here of vision next to the wall, but Contractz, perfect job. Okay, this is the exact replay that we want. Because of how it turned out, we already know there's no way this thing saw him, and it does leave a little bit of vision there, so Contractz hugs the wall, gets around Kaine's own ward to go guarantee this first blood. And he's actually, as you can see on the mini-map, going for another gank. Turbo ganks
side,
from Contractz.
Sheiden's actually on the bottom side right now for the gank. They're able to catch Bvoy, has flash, has barrier, and Tomo's not in range to get damage down, so no kill going to happen. Meanwhile, topside Photon did get back to the turret. Contractz does not find anything on the top half of the map.
Exactly, so they go for the recall up there. Bottom side also, no real harm down there. So everybody getting their back off, and we are not going to get the swap because both of them teleport right back out to top side here.
Yeah, Photon wants this to crash really bad, but he's actually taking a good chunk of damage from Fudge while trying to do it. Yep. But speaking of Photon...
Yeah, exactly, and you mentioned at the very beginning too, but he self-identified Gwen as his signature pick, so really big for him to grab that one coming in for his first LTA game because he had spent some time in the TCL as well as the LEC. And going against Fudge here, it's definitely going to be one that determines a lot because Fudge now with level 5 advantage and a huge health advantage has the wave pushing for him.
And Photon was somebody that I'm happy to see in our league. I'm excited to see what he's able to do. But if you look at his track record, you saw it there at the end. He won All-Pro. The first split, he was in LEC. He won a couple of MVP and All-Pro votes back when he was in LCK Challengers. But if you only look at the last 2 years of competitive play, he has struggled a little bit. Some of the rosters didn't really come together, and he didn't have those, end-of-season finishes that he was hoping for. So now coming into Dignitas, again, it is the big roster swap for this team. Hope is that he will provide some firepower for them to play through. And so far, it's been a pretty quiet top lane, I'd say. Not a lot has happened up there outside of just some slight scraps trading health bars.
Yeah, they're scrapping all right. Contractz since his jungle camps are kind of desynced, since he went for the gank spree instead of full clearing, he finishes up on his top side now and then walks over the ward. So plenty of information here for Dignitas. Although nobody else can come help Photon because jungle's on the bottom side and mid laners already used their teleport. So Photon's only level 5. He's got to try and rush to level 6. Look at the minions.
Palafox is walking up as well. Photon hits level 6 and Contractz immediately says, okay, back off. But maybe they wait for the next wave because, again, Palafox has committed. He has walked all the way up, no teleport, so he'll lose a mid wave for this. They want to get the kill to guarantee it's worth the time of the roam. But Fudge is not able to get this wave in that fast. They're just going to flash over the wall. Photon dodges the stun.
He has no W now. Are they going to redive?
They could look for it. Public execution comes in from Fudge. Cleanly executed. Picks up the kill.
There you go. The teleport comes out from support with this spell book over from Isles, and Keine does roam afterwards. So Keine did push that mid wave, and that one goes into the tower, but still there, Shopify in the 2-part dive go to blow your W cooldown and then go for the kill afterwards. Fudge nails his ultimate onto Photon, and they do succeed in grabbing it, although costing them 2 flashes here. So it was both Palafox and Fudge investing into that.
And those are one of those moments where Photon's able to flash away. That's A+ marks. He was able to dodge the first half, not the second half of the dive. Dignitas now down 2 kills. Shopify Rebellion up close to 1,000 gold in this early game here. Is currently they're trying to get their lane assignments correct right now. Photon back on the map from Dignitas went into the mid lane. Keine was topside to catch that wave. Let's see how long they try and keep this one for.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good start for Shopify. With the early gank from Contractz getting money onto Palafox first, and then the double attempt on the dive up on top side to get money onto Fudge as well. The other solo lane carry here for themselves. Nice little bit of early action, and now we're going to get the rotation, the answer with the other spellbook. This thing, spellbook is just running rampant.
It really is.
Are you happy with it? Because for a long time, this thing was barely ever used, so they turbo buffed it. Oftentimes, they'll like buff things just to like start that momentum to get people to start to use it. Then they'll tap it back down afterwards after everyone catches on. It becomes so commonplace.
So I have not tried it out myself. I'm a support main, but I play the Chad supports. I play Pantheon, baby. I'm going for a kills and aggression. I'm not going, hey, I heard one woo. Thank you, citizen out there. So I'm not using it myself. I actually love seeing it from enemy supports because that means they're going to leave my lane and I can kill the AD carry.
My favorite plays are usually when they actually have a good teleport and it's like really meaningful. Like, they get their reset timer off and then they make the play top on the roam timer and then can like teleport back to the bottom lane. Oftentimes, though, we see it be like not very consequential. Regardless, we're going to have the grubs picked up by Shopify as well, with Contractz immediately going over there since both their solo lanes had those early kills, so they've got the advantage. And then after the rotation, Palafox just knows, I am weak side now. I will play safe. And we saw Palafox, lots of games where he's weak side, like the Xerath game, and
that one stands out.
Tried to play very, very safe and gave up a lot of CS. But down here on the bottom side, they actually don't fully get the turret play in payment for those grubs. Of course, the dragon was already taken by Dignitas, and so they do have the early Infernal.
Yeah, so overall it's a trade, the grubs for that dragon, but the lane assignments have committed. Palafox is still up against Photon. Meanwhile, Fudge is still up against Keine. So it's no longer top laner versus top laner.
And that's good because Shopify want to have any damage into the early steel caps that Photon got. Obviously, the steel caps are going to be way more effective versus Ambessa.
I hear.
And so they want the magic damage into that matchup here to keep a little bit of threat.
It does mean that there is a CS advantage for Keine over Palafox for right now. Also, part of that was because of Palafox's commitment to the roam into that top side play earlier. Let's see what the next play is going to be, as Isles is getting some vision down, so they see that Contractz is clearing out the top jungle camps. Sheiden is on the top half of the map as well. There's nothing really aggressive to play for. If they go for a dive, I mean, they saw Contractz passing away, and now he's off vision. But now spotting Seos, probably not going to go for any kind of play.
Yeah, lots of wards invested, but Contractz and Seos here to defend and clear it all out. So no real possible play over here.
I like that from Shopify, though. The fact that Contractz loops back around, the fact that Seos commits as well to clear out wards and make sure Fudge is safe. They're really investing into Fudge maintaining this lead that he has right now.
Yeah, and then they have plenty of time to reset for Dragon also.
Yep.
So defend topside play. You still have a full minute here. Everybody resets. Go get your control wards. Contractz has bottom side camps. He can clear those up before heading over to the Drake.
It's one of those things that we noted in earlier splits, how much Seos likes to get around the map. When you think of Braum Lucian, I usually think of this being a powerful 2v2 combo. But the way Seos likes to play League of Legends is at the hip of Contractz. He's always walking, like, look at this. He's trying to catch up to the Zhao in the jungle and just playing off of Contractz. This is how Shopify Rebellion plays the map, and it's a very fun way to watch League of Legends played at the top levels.
As a jungler, I would say it's the best way to play. Supports play with your jungle.
Hey, I'll second that as well. I mean, hey, what's better than a Zhao with a Pantheon on your hip?
If you are a playmaking tank jungle, for sure.
True.
If you are a Lulu, then it's a little bit less effective. But again,
There's a
Fudge
window.
knows that he is on weak side, but they have defensive vision, so they know and they can play appropriately. Yep. Both sides actually have the early information.
This is now twice that Dig have sent multiple members towards Fudge.
Yeah, it's the same thing, though, on the bottom side, because that ward that they just cleared out saw Contractz.
Ooh, Fudge is actually going in on Keine. Flashes forward, Keine flashes away, now engaged from Isles, who's stuck around. Keine was not alone. Fudge played so patiently for so long. Will he get punished now? Weaver's Wall goes out, Fudge looks to go back in, almost takes him out, but Isles with the kill credit, Dignitas on the board.
It is close, but as you say, Fudge getting antsy, wanted to go for it, even though he knew he was on the weak side previously, thought that they had left and the teleport answer.
Did they see that? I mean, Isles didn't cancel. Flash forward stun, take him out, cancel the TP. Palafox gets a kill.
Yeah, that thing gonna take too long to get out of there. Palafox actually investing his flash as well, and so it is Dragon picked up for Shopify, plus then kind of answering here on the other side with teleport and flash invested. So let's see about the push out here afterwards. Again, more kind of money here into Palafox on the Annie. We've had so many games where Palafox is like the least fed member on the team.
He's still pretty effective without a lot of gold.
This is one where he getting the kill credit for these kills. That one plus the early Contractz gank means that the Annie potency in the early fights is going to be huge. You'll see the recall probably stopped right there by Alistar, but
so must have just not seen the TP coming in.
Yeah, it's just it's in the pixel brush there, just out, and so Keine goes for it. Boom, flash in, instantly dead, as we know, and that was while they took the dragon.
Yeah, that's one of those ones. But like you had said, Palafox getting gold, now has the Malignance completed, plus some change there as well. And Palafox performing well was part of their come up in split number 2. Split 1, they struggled, and I'll say it, I think that Palafox was flipping a little bit of tails. I think that in split 2, though, he flipped a lot of heads. Palafox really turned it back online in split 2, and when Palafox is performing, when Fudge is performing, when these solo laners are holding their ground and getting fed like this, it opens up so many plays for Shopify Rebellion. But right now the play is on them. No flash of Palafox, but he stuns up Sheiden and denies the play from Dignitas on his own.
Yeah, should be fine for him. Buy some time for his jungler, too. You know, stopping Sheiden there. Actually, Contractz has 2 more camps to finish up on bottom side before going over to pressure the other side. So the answer from Shopify on the bottom side of the map about to take place. They don't have a lot of time because the recalls came out pretty instantly from Dignitas.
Photon did not spot Contractz, though. So as of right now, he does not know that there's a Zhao, but gets back to turret, should be fine.
And you do have to be careful. These are the types of plays that Shopify in the early bits of the other splits kind of overstayed on. So you have to be a little bit careful because an Alistar and a Skarner resetting means that the counter ganks and the counter steer plays over there can be kind of devastating. A lot of CC there, but Shopify actually have Palafox.
Could be in some trouble here. Palafox doesn't land the flick back. Isles trying to get away now. Palafox looked for the stun, couldn't quite find it. And now Sheiden,
got cleansed off there. Tomo has to use his cleanse and his flash, and now...
Oh, the Impale, like you had just said, Shopify sometimes just stay a little too long. Contractz has to use the ult and flash to get away.
Okay, he does escape with his life for now. So Shopify, after these plays, they do come away with burning all the summoner spells off of Tomo, off of the Corki. Maybe the repeat play there will be something that they can benefit from, but otherwise, honestly, not too shabby.
Sure. End of the day, Contractz likes to play that line. It's one of those moments where he doesn't actually give up a kill for it, and there's nothing else to really fight for on the bottom half of the map right now. I think everyone's going to reset and look towards that Herald coming up next. So that's where things like Tomo not having the summoner spells can start to actually impact Dignitas' approach if they try and contest this.
Exactly, especially because Palafox, his timer for Flash is coming up.
Yep.
So this Annie that got the 2 early kills and got the early Malignance is going to be ready with another Tibbers very, very soon.
Say that 5 times fast.
Another Tibbers.
Another Tibbers variation.
And this one is going to be rank 2 Tibbers. Level 11 Annie with Flash is just perfect for playmaking over by a Herald play. So we'll keep track of him.
All right, Palafox is starting to walk up, but actually just clears out the fruit in the river. Has teleport if Shopify Rebellion wants to fight at this Herald. As of right now, Dignitas are the ones here in the river first. It's just Contractz going to spot them out with that ward. Isles not going to get the sweeper on it, so Dig don't know that there's that ward right there.
Okay, Tomo's positioning here. He's got to be careful. No sums on him. No Alistar ult either. That's got to be free Herald. No Alistar ult. He cannot team fight anymore.
Without your summons on your AD carry, without the ultimate on the Alistar, you just don't have the ability to walk up. And now even bot side, Palafox is just pushing in and takes the turret in front of Photon's face.
There you go. Another objective for Shopify Rebellion. Looking like they're continuing a bit of momentum from last split. Of course, they did fall pretty quickly to the hands of Cloud9 at the end of playoffs, but their run up to that point.
You didn't have to do that.
Was very impressive.
You know? Top 3 is not bad. They said it in their video that we played before the game.
It's way better than most people expected of this team. Actually, if we go back and we look at all of the pre-season expectations and power rankings for Shopify, don't believe anybody really had them that high up.
Ooh, Isles has a flash because he doesn't have the Unbreakable Will this time around. Splash down, heal down. No ult either. He's just going to have to go for a reset.
Yeah.
Dragon's up right now, so I think the Shopify Rebellion can claim their second of the game here. Dig got that first one, but now, unless they catch Seos, throws up the Unbreakable and walks back. He's fine.
Yeah, they've got a couple barriers here on both Seos and Bvoy right now, too, with the spellbook over, so lots of extra HP to burn through.
Herald goes down, and now engage from Contractz, trying to get in onto Dignitas. Photon trying to fight with Sheiden in the front line. Tomo's getting back to safety, but it's just not enough. The front line falls. Dignitas in trouble. Weaver's Wall comes in. Maybe Keine can turn the play. Dig are melting, though, as Shopify dive deep. Fudge enters the fight in style, and Shopify push back Dignitas. Contractz does fall. Keine tried his absolute hardest to turn the play. Double kill to Keine. Almost finds the triple, but just not enough damage from that turret.
Oh my, the turret's gonna go down. Can they chase him afterwards? They're gonna try and get to the Herald.
Herald's going in. Maybe one turret shot stops it. I think it does, yeah. Seos does not even land onto the turret. Dignitas were close. Keine was so close. But at the end of the day, Shopify do get a couple more kills.
That turned into a bit of chaos there on the chase into the jungle here. After Shopify have a really good start to the fight there. Here's what we were talking about, though. A lot of the power rankings pre-split, too. Most people having them around 5th there, give or take a couple.
That was the average, yeah.
But then getting all the way to 3rd place, definitely really nicely done from this squad. They should be able to revisit after this play that they just made mid and taking down the mid tower. Just go ahead and set up for Dragon and take that one themselves. No problem here, but actually going to get another look at the start of it too. And again, the beginning it's such a good time for them to fight. And see Palafox flanking on over 2. So even though Skarner gets a double ult, Palafox gets a double Tibbers down there, and they stop the front line and get them. Then they go for the extra chase here, and Taliyah had some good counter kills, but the super blast cone putting Fudge under tower as the rest of them kind of chase through. They get really aggressive and going for Taliyah once again. It's a good shove here from Keine. He was doing a decent amount of work from the side of Dignitas to keep it close-ish for Dignitas. But Shopify still come away the big winners because tower being down means they're able to easily get that dragon, so they did during the replay.
Yep. And I think if I saw that correctly, the turret dropped aggro for a couple of seconds, and that's why that final shot did not take down Bvoy. So very, very close dive right there. But yes, another Dragon over to Shopify Rebellion. Otacon now the next objective on the Rift. Shopify Rebellion dropping some early vision around it here to try and deny Dignitas any opportunity to sneak in. Maybe even look for their own sneak. They have Contractz and Bvoy on that side of the map, but Bvoy instead going to want to catch this mid-wave.
Palafox has his upgraded boots down there in the split push as well. The Lucidity boots upgrade, always a very good and efficient one. Let's see if he can find anything here, because Photon just does jump on the wave. And he has his teleport ready. Both of them can join any sort of skirmishes up towards the top side of the map, but looks like they'll just hold it anyways since there's nothing really worth fighting over at the moment.
Yeah.
Just kind of the outer tower up there on the top side is what I'm looking at. Shopify's next real main objective.
Which is really the only thing that Dignitas currently have going for them. They're behind in Dragons, they're behind in the Grubs, they're behind in Gold, but they have that top turret standing, which means if there's Otacon pressure, they always will have a little bit more push in that top wave. Photon going to try and get this bottom wave pushed in. You had mentioned the boots on Photon, the Lucidity upgraded boots. I love it as well because when you upgrade this boot, anytime you land an ability, you get that burst and move speed, so it's just impossible for Photon to stay on top of you. But with Palafox playing weak side bot lane right now, he backs all the way off. Shopify, they're going for the Otacon.
Yeah, or especially on Annie, since it procs on using a summoner spell too. So good for your engages when you go for your flash. But they are for sure going to be able to teleport in. This thing is burned down.
Like bandits in the night, Shopify Rebellion, get in, get out. Dignitas cannot find an answer as Tomo now has to be careful when Become Lightning lands and he jumps away. Sheiden goes for the big engage. Weaver's Wall over the top. Keine goes for a flank. Isles trying to help him out. Tomo takes down Contractz. Dignitas pincer Shopify after the Otacon is taken. Photon misses the first ult proc right there. Gonna look for a little more damage onto Seos. Tomo might be what he needs to get the kill. Shopify Rebellion have 2 members left alive, and they're just going to get engaged under the Tier 2 turret. Dignitas find 4 members in the fight.
Photon teleports first, and it is meaningful. They get the 5-on-4 because Palafox's teleport is much later, and it's pretty far away from where the actual fight is. So let's take another look at it, because they do burn it down, and then Shopify actually move up into them, even though Photon had already teleported, so he's already there, and it's a full 5 with Keine ulting through on Taliyah. And so then you have this really sectioned off fight where the 3 people immediately take down Contractz, and then up on the top side, because they've got Alistar ultimate, very easy for Keine and Isles to finish off that top side. And you see the Annie, not much he can actually do over there after his teleport, just pushes a single minion wave. So Dignitas with some really much needed money to get back into this game and actually pull ahead in gold, even though they did give up that Otacon. They also still already had pre-existing flowers.
True, yeah, and now they're up to 22 to the 14 of Shopify Rebellion, so they're actually ahead in that count despite the Otacon going down. And it was Shopify Rebellion that almost looked like they were the ones looking for the engage. When Become Lightning landed onto Tomo, so they were looking to push, and Dignitas then punish. But a reminder for everybody watching right now, stick around, stay tuned. The first pick and play banner ceremony of the split is after this series. If you don't know what that means, the bottom teams in the standings get a chance to choose their opponent. They get to pick their fight, Kobe, for who they match up against next weekend. So you'll want to stick around for that. It'll be a good old time.
Because we've made actual physical banners.
Physical banners. I've seen them.
You can get a piece of the team.
One. Yeah.
Yeah. What did it feel like? High quality?
It was very high quality. Let me tell you, it's like a tarp material. I'm trying to think how to describe this. Old plasticky, but like in a good way.
Which one did you touch? Did it feel like winning? Or
It was Team Liquid, so they did win today.
There you go, 2-0.
You know, maybe that was the blessing they needed. I blessed their banner.
I see.
With a little pinch. All right.
You trade 100 Thieves.
You know, I did have 100 Thieves higher in my preseason power ranking.
All right, well, Photon on his signature Gwen that he talked about really liking is going to get some split push done here. A lot of work very quickly done on this tower, and it actually goes away, plus a play onto, just pushes him over.
Yeah, if that was on the other side, maybe they can look for something out of Fudge, but not going to find it. Shopify Rebellion, in the meantime, push up in the mid wave, and will take down the Tier 2 mid turret. So they're not out of this one yet. It's a gold lead for Dignitas. Shopify Rebellion were controlling the early game. They've lost a little bit of that control now.
They're going to rotate over. Photon doesn't have teleport, though, so Photon goes for his recall. I think they're just giving Dragon number 3 his Dragon Soul points, so the big burst of power, not quite yet. Does put some pressure, though, on the Dragon Soul coming up, because the game's still very close, and so a Dragon Soul extra power definitely can push you over the edge in some of these all-in fights.
And Dig with the timer, having a couple people on the top half of the map weren't willing to contest, despite having ultimates, despite having summoner spells. They have some time. They don't have to fight that one, but this next one, very incentivized.
And if it is just a single dragon, then a single dragon is not worth a secondary side lane tower. The gold in the side lane tower is worth way more.
Sure.
But if it results in soul later, then it becomes a different equation.
Also, losing your mid tier 2 means that Dig will not have as much prio in that mid wave. Shopify Rebellion can control the access point to that dragon a little bit better.
Yeah, and Baron too.
And Baron too.
Could get spicy here while we're waiting for the dragon.
Yeah.
Our little intermission, our 4 minutes.
It might, unfortunately, though, the downside is it sometimes turns into a bit of a nay-ram once you don't have that turret, because you're like, well, we have to stay mid.
I like watching those.
You like watching those? I like playing in some A-rams.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see if we actually get that. Currently, there's a lot of people in the mid lane.
Well, Photon is split pushing down there on bottom side, so he's getting the early push down.
It's his first game. He doesn't know the trend.
Yeah. Well, the push away from Baron in the long lane, of course, away from Baron, trying to pull somebody from Shopify down. Fudge answers. He has teleport ready, so here we go as far as the Baron play.
Winter's Bite misses onto Isles, and now they're just going to flash engage onto Seos. The Braum caught out from the rest of the team. Commitment from Dig, just dragging him away from his team. Seos says, how did I get here?
Yeah, well, you got there because Isles just picked you up and tossed you into Sheiden's arm. Sheiden catches him and then
drags him further.
Drags him even further away. That was a nice little toss and catch.
And now they're going to go for even more. Palafox with a double stun as Bvoy throws out the culling. They just don't have quite enough damage to threaten Dignitas, but they do stop them from committing to the Baron. Ooh, all right.
Seos getting tossed around like a volleyball there.
They're playing catch.
Yeah, they'll just take their kill though, as well as their teleport. So we'll see now how you manage your side lanes with one less teleport. Of course, Ambessa's teleport is kind of critical there, and Fudge now without that one, the extra little bit of cost.
End of the day, that one kill onto Seos doesn't actually get that much for Dig here. It's flash off of Isles, but he has the Summoner spell book, so that theoretically will come back in the form of a different Summoner spell later.
Yeah, especially if like that death cap on Palafox does get completed. That could be very, very dangerous. This Annie combination is already going to be very damaging, but if he is able to finish his death cap before the actual Dragon Soul fight, that would be ideal for Shopify.
And we see in the side lane, Photon is still up against Palafox here. Has even more armor with the Seeker's Arm Guard. Just doesn't provide the stats you want versus that Annie. But want to highlight that Seeker's Arm Guard because now once the team fight does break out, if we have a big Baron fight, if we have that Dragon Soul fight, suddenly you got to keep track of these stasises because that can really throw the enemy team for a loop.
Okay, gotta be careful.
Hearing for the engage right now. Isles goes forward onto Contractz, but the rest of Dignitas can't quite get in. Sheiden is trying to buy space for Isles to come out. Fudge dives onto the backline. Big engage from Shopify as they're turning a bouncy house onto Dignitas. Sheiden's able to do some work here, though, as Photon just fights his way through all of it. As the Gwen goes into the stasis, Tomo jumps forward. Contractz over the wall. Big blast cone. Photon's about to fall. Tomo's got no more backup. Shopify win the fight.
Whoa, that's a Baron for Shopify. They win the fight. They take the rewards, Kangas. This is going to be a huge, huge break point now. It's still a minute for Dragon, so technically Dignitas will respawn in time to fight, but Shopify will be so much stronger. Let's take another look at this as Isles just got almost completely deleted, and then by the time his ultimate was up, Palafox had teleported in on the flank.
Yeah.
Him coming around the other side just blew them up. So even though Photon eventually answers and is able to take down Palafox, there's nothing left for him. Contractz super blast coning over behind Tomo meant that Tomo's flash also just is useless there. So he also goes down. He also won't have flash now for the Dragon Soul. And the Dragon Soul is going to be Baron on 3 members of Shopify.
Very tough now for Dignitas to fight through that. I feel for Photon. He goes into the stasis thinking maybe the Braum passive will expire. It does not. So he still gets stunned up immediately out of it. And now back to live here. Dragon is spawning in 10 seconds. Shopify control the access point. They have Baron on multiple members. They have a push in the bottom wave as well. Dignitas, I think they might just try and brute force it. We'll see what their move is. They actually get wrestle control of the vision right now.
They do have an exhaust. Isles is actually spellbooked over to exhaust, so if he could get that onto Annie or something before the combo.
Weaver's Wall as well. Dignitas, they just block off Shopify's approach. Not bad.
Nice Weaver's Wall there. It is going to mean Shopify with their Baron buff. Do they have a minion wave up there? They're trying to rush through mid. Seos here wants to delay the movements, and
now he's just getting engaged on. Yeah, I mean, the rest of Shopify Rebellion didn't quite look ready. Palafox does not have the stun prepped right now, but Contractz goes in and Pale onto 2, and now Fudge onto the back line yet again. Sheiden still survives. Photon goes down, but Tomo is free firing Keine as well. Looks like at the end of the day, it's a 1-for-1 trade support for top lane.
Yeah, Shopify, they still have Baron, but they can't make much use of it right now. So honestly, for Dignitas, denying that Dragon Soul is huge there, going 1-for-1. And not actually giving up much to the siege potential. Of course, the Baron's still going to last a little bit longer here for Shopify. At least the 3 members that did have it, that were alive and actually got the Baron buff. And Guardian Angel completed for Contractz after that. So there's another one of those big key items as you were looking at, some stasis items for team fights. The Guardian Angel revive here is going to mean Shopify's next one is a very, very powerful fight.
For jungle, yes, but on Dig side, Photon has his Zonies completed. Mid lane, Keine has a Seeker's Arm Guard, so we have double stasises on their end. This next fight will be very impactful. If you can get that big objective, if you can get the big Baron, if you can get Dragon Soul for Shopify Rebellion, feels great. I'm just surprised that they weren't able to control that access point. Dignitas did such a good job of just forcing their way in and pushing Shopify off.
Well, this one's going to be easy outer tower at the very least, pushing with the rest of their Baron buff here as Isles is looking for that Alistar Dream flank. He's got a control ward over by the red brush ward. It's not going to find any sort of angles here, though. Some good control wards from Shopify and the other 2 kind of flank rear angles for themselves. So not going to be a way for Alistar to get around. And they'll just take their outer tower and continue to push.
But we'll get a little bit of alone time down here in the bottom lane as well. And the gold has swung right back. Dignitas had a 2,000 gold lead at one point here. Now it's back to Shopify in almost the same state. But there's not a lot to fight for the next 3 minutes. We are going to be waiting for that Baron. We're waiting for that Dragon before that next big explosive play.
I think the biggest thing that they are waiting for is the Infinity Edge for Lucian. So once Bvoy gets the IE, then I think they will be able to full send. It's still 2.5 minutes until the Dragon Soul actually arrives. He definitely should be able to make enough money by then. So expecting pretty calm control of vision here from Shopify, even though they're they have Guardian Angels, and Palafox can blow somebody up. He's got flash and everything ready on Annie. But if they could wait for the entire all-in until they actually get that IE, that would be huge for them.
And with the build that Tomo went here, he actually has a surprising amount of HP, so it's going to be hard for Palafox to 100-0 really any members right now of Dignitas. We'll need some additional assistance from somebody like Bvoy or Contractz or Fudge.
Yeah, so I like what they're doing here, kind of calmly controlling the vision and the access to jungle resources. Just take away some small extra advantages, more jungle resources denied to your opponents. Keep the wards here refreshed in the areas leading up to the Dragon. And there you go. They got their IE for Bvoy. Plenty of time here, well ahead of the big objectives as well. And Baron's actually getting to the Rift a couple seconds sooner. So we do have to worry about the other side of the map trade here and trying to threaten on a burn.
Maybe look for a pick right before it starts, but instead it's Isles engaging on the Palafox. He still has that stasis, so watch out for that. Contractz buying space for the rest of the team of Shopify Rebellion. Swarm around Dig. Fudge on the flank will take down Tomo, take down Contractz. Double kill to the top laner. Shopify Rebellion just make a mess out of Dignitas in the team fight.
That gonna be it? I mean, they're trying to wall him off.
The Braum shield blocked the Weaver's wall. They're gonna get the wave in.
Good job from Zeos. They tried to block him off, but Shopify are in the base and they're going for the end.
Who needs a Baron when you can just win a team fight? Shopify Rebellion looking to make quick work here in the tail end of this game. It's only Keine left alive to hold the line. Dignitas mid laner versus the world, and there's just no shot you could clear this wave. Shopify Rebellion didn't need no objectives. They just wanted the Nexus, and they'll take game one in this best of 3 series.